carrying on with the audio stuff for a second, this is the Beresford Cayman Mark II DAC that I've been personally using for the past 4 years or so. And it's taken me this long to finally realise that this is the most unreliable piece of technology I've ever owned. I mean, if I talk about the DAC for a second, you've got your standard stuff, you've got your volume dial, you've got a fixed or variable switch, your headphone output, function button, which I don't know what it does, you've got your indicator LEDs and your power LED, your source switch, and then you've got your power switch. Very, very mechanical. Then on the back you obviously have your power input, a grounding switch if you're using this with a record player, optical 1, optical 2, coaxial, USB, whatever that's for, and left to right audio out. But when I say this is the most unreliable thing I've ever owned, I'll give you an example. I mainly use USB as my primary input. When I switch the DAC on, sometimes it will switch to optical for no reason. Just switch to optical and then that's it. So you have to then you turn the DAC off, turn it back on, then it would find USB and then it will work. But sometimes when it goes onto USB, it doesn't want to output any sound at all. So then you turn it off, turn it back on again. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't, and then you can see the problem here, can't you? But then when it's on USB, you get huge amounts of like this sort of audio peaking pops, like proper pops. Like for instance, when you're using a microphone and you use the letter P or pop, is when the audio peaks and the microphone can't take it. But it's almost like it's doing that all the time, whether it's on optical or USB, and it's just really frustrating. You notice it even at really low volumes. You really do notice that. So naturally it's going to be changed for something else. Let's put that to one side for a second. I might bring this up at some point in the future. So for that, I've actually decided to completely change my audio setup. Instead of going with a DAC amp combo, I'm going to go with a separate DAC and a separate headphone amplifier. The one I've gone with, and I'll explain my choice in a moment, is from those good guys in America at JDS Labs. This is, in this box, is the OL DAC, and it's just a DAC. Simple, very easy, made in America, as you do. Now, this is kind of going off of a review that I watched, and I think you can probably guess who, though. It's Z Reviews. A lot of this stuff is Z Reviews anyway, so what else can I say about it? Well, I will actually say something else. He did a review where he had 3 separate USB DACs, and he did like a shootout between each 3 of them. I think they were this, the IFI i1, and the Ship Modi 3. No, not the Ship Modi 3, the Ship Modi Multibit. That's what it is, the Ship Modi Multibit. I even downloaded the FLAC file and I listened to that source material. I listened to it on this DAC, obviously, through different headphones, through my speakers, and to be brutally honest, I couldn't tell a difference between the audio. No difference. All I could say is that the only real difference was the price. The IFI i1 was $200. The Ship Modi Multibit was $250, or was it $240? Correct me on the price. I think it was around $250. This, the one that he used, was the optical and USB edition, was $140. Now you tell me which one I'm going to go for. Well, this one naturally is, you're seeing it. But I've got a little story behind this one as well. As I take this out of the box, might as well do that. So you get your standard USB, and it is in fact a monoprice USB type A to B cable. For the record, I'm not actually going to be using this. I'm going to be using my own USB cable. It's actually a QED graphite cable, so I won't need that. So in the foil packet, after going through the box, is of course the DAC itself. So I'm going to have to cut this open. So let's see, come on. losing my mind for a second. Forgive me if my voice sounds a little bit hoarse at the moment. I was actually out last night. Not late, just lots of drinking and whatnot, as you do. So here it is. There it is. There is the OL DAC. So you get some usual extra bits and pieces. So these are the rubber feet, which I will be putting on in a second. So I'll be using them. And then you've got your little instruction card, and it says the JDS Labs product was inspected by tester, JDS approved, and the guy's name is Dwayne with a Y. Don't know if you can see that. Can you see it? There you go. It's about there. So that's what it is. And this is actually what I like about JDS Labs. If you want the instructions, yeah, just go on the website. Just go on JDS Labs website. That's all you need to do. So let's have a look at the DAC itself. So there's nothing really on the front apart from an indicator LED, which is green, which I really, really like. Just a really simple design. It's just metal box. Very nice metal box, actually. Nothing on the other side, but on the back is where all the stuff happens. This is where your USB goes, your audio output goes from here, and your power input goes in there. That's it. Really straightforward. It's all screwed together, and it's just a DAC. It's just a DAC. In fact, let me just do a quick comparison of size. Here's the Beresford. Get out of it. Here's the Beresford Cayman Mark II DAC. Bear in mind this is a DAC amp combo, but I mean, look at this. I would say that this, you can roughly fit 4 of these in the space of this, and in thickness, about 1.5 of these. 1.5 of these, which is absolutely insane. I'm actually really glad I'm not using this DAC anymore. Also, this is another thing as well. This Beresford one, even though it was designed in England, I thought I was getting this from a very thoroughly British company. I wasn't, for the record. It's actually made in Taiwan. But not like the good part of Taiwan, I think. It's actually, I reckon it's the bad part, to be honest with you, because it doesn't work half the time. So I'm just going to put the feet on this. So I'm just going to flip them upside down. Now, while I'm actually putting the feet on this, I might as well explain, obviously the reasons why I chose this is because of the review from Z Reviews, but also I ordered, from the place I got this from, I actually ordered the optical and USB edition of this DAC. So there was one seller in the UK that was actually selling this officially, so naturally I bought it. And this is the version that actually ended up turning up to me. So I got on the phone to said company, a little bit annoyed, not terribly annoyed, not absolutely livid, just mild inconvenience, and I explained to them, well, really this is the DAC that I was looking for, and I only really needed the USB connector. The only reason why I went for the optical edition is so I can turn it off at night. So I said to them, is it possible if you can refund me the difference in cost from this one to the one I ordered? And they said, yeah, we'll do that for you. So not only did they do that, they also refunded my postage. So it's a win-win, I guess. So for the record, as I said, the optical and USB edition of the OL DAC is $140. The USB edition is simply $100. $100 for a DAC that does one job. Very, very simple. So now I've got the feet on there. That won't move around. I just love the fact that it's so compact. There's nothing really to it. Oh, where's my bin? I'll throw stuff away. Okay, and just to show you as well, I've already installed this. You get, for this one, it requires a 15 volt power adapter. This is obviously the UK spec. It's tick rate range. So what I like about JDS Labs is when you order products from them, you choose the power adapter you need. So in this case, you can either choose from North America, Europe, Australia, and Britain. I've obviously got Britain because I live in Britain, naturally. So that's that one. And as I said, this is a 15 volt. I can't remember how many amps it needs, but it's enough amps. Let's say that it's enough amps. So I think now I'm actually going to get one of the cables in as well. These are the phono cables that I'm using. These are QED, again, they're QED graphite. And lots of people will think, well, why are you using high-end audio cables in the first place? Isn't that just a placebo effect in audio terms? And, well, you're probably right on that one. But there's only one other reason why I chose these cables over anything else. Longevity. With these, as standard, you get a lifetime guarantee. So, if anything goes wrong with this, I could just, well, not the DAC, but this cable, I could just go, hey, QED, can you send me out another one of these? Yep, no worries, thank you very much, bye. And there you go, simple. So now I'm just going to connect up. It's going to look a little bit finicky. So I plug the USB in there. So this is the power cable for the DAC. So hopefully, if I put this on, actually no, I'm not going to power this up just yet, because the reason why is because it might mess up the recording of this. So I'm just going to leave that there. And let's talk amps. Now, as I said, I've gone with a separate headphone amplifier for this setup. And again, I actually sought advice for this in particular. So I actually went on to Reddit. And again, I was watching different reviews by Z Reviews, and he had a plethora of amps, and it made it really difficult for me to choose. So I'm just having some dirty bean water. And in the end, as I said, I ended up turning to Reddit, and I narrowed down some choices. I either wanted to go with the Orn X7S, which has the balanced XLR outputs for the headphones, the JDS Labs Atom, which is quite new and it's relatively cheap for what it is, but I've heard it's the most cleanest sounding headphone amplifier on the market. And the other one was the Schiit Magni 3, because it's a Schiit Magni 3. What else do you want me to tell you about that? And I was flickering, and I was really conflicting which one to go with. I mean, you can very, very easily get the X7S, although it's a little bit finicky. You have to go through eBay, and I think there's only one seller officially in the UK that sells them. For the Schiit Magni 3, lost my mind there, there is an official UK seller for them. But weirdly, I've heard that there are some issues with it. So why would I want to have a headphone amplifier that has issues? So in the end, I decided to say, sod it. I ordered the JDS Labs Atom on the 9th of January. It arrived 2 weeks after that. And here's the box for it. Sound as Science. There's the amp. There's JDS Labs. There's Atom. And there, made in America. Collinsville, Illinois. This had actually shipped from their facility in Collinsville, Illinois, and got to me 2 weeks afterwards. And that was through standard USPS shipping as well. That's what's really good about this. So now this requires a 16-volt power supply, so I might as well show you that to you now. This is just the box for it. Yeah, you go 16 volt. Again, you can choose the region you're from. Now, I actually did end up labeling both power adapters because I was afraid I might mix them up. Luckily, I won't, because the size difference. This is a really beefy power supply, whereas the 15 volt one really isn't that big at all. So, which is quite handy. Anyway, let's get the Atom out of its shell. That down there. I don't think there's anything else in the box. Nope. That can go down there. So here it is. This is the Atom. And again, like the OL DAC, this is $100. It's $100, which is frankly nothing in terms of its cost. Although, of course, because I imported this from the United States, I did incur paying import VAT, naturally. Import VAT is a bitch. So, in terms of what you get, in the card, again, instructions, just go on the website. And again, Dwayne inspected this one, along with the tester, another tester, Jimmy. So Jimmy and Dwayne, thank you for testing these. Really appreciate it. And then there's another little card, just to say that they're on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. and on the back of it, it actually says, post a photo of your JDS Labs setup and make sure to mention JDS Labs on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. Each month we'll feature one of our favourite submissions and send the owner a JDS Labs t-shirt. It's pretty neat. So if I take a picture of the setup, they'll send me a t-shirt. Nice. That means I have to incur more import fees. Great. But let's take a look at the actual Atom itself. So, okay. Couldn't be more plastic if it tried, couldn't it? It's really a shame because compared to the very lovely metal shell, yeah, this is $100, so bear in mind you do need to cut the corners, literally. But let's take a look at it. So on the back we have your standard sort of setup. So there's your power input. You have a 3.5mm input, a standard left and right phono input, so there's two different inputs on this, which is quite cool. And then there's your left and right audio out. Quite simple. Then on the front you have your 1/4" headphone adapter, which is plastic, but it makes a very positive click when you push it in. That's quite good. Then you've got your volume dial, which also acts as your power switch, so have a listen. There you go, very nice. And then you have your high-low gain switch. I think press it in and it's high, press it out and it's low, and then you have your input selector. But yeah, it's a plastic box, so it's plastic here, it's plastic here, plastic here, listen. So you really do expect to cut corners with this. So, but I did hear, not literally, that this is the cleanest sounding headphone amplifier that money can buy. So I'm going to hook this up and get it all. Actually, I'm just going to show you as well. I'm just going to put the power cable in and show you when it's powered up. There's a small relay click, and if you can see that there's actually a white LED that goes all the way around it. It's very, very neat. But it's not in your face, which is good. So let's get this hooked up, and let's get this hooked up to the speakers. Just so you know as well, the left and right audio outs, they act as a pre-out. So I've got my amplifier here, a little stereo amp, and I've already reconfigured that to act as a power amp. You can actually watch the video. I think it's in no, that corner up there. There it is. So I'll put a link to that up there. So let's get this all hooked up. I've got another QED graphite cable. Okay, so that can be pushed back into here like that. I don't want to get these mixed up too much. Might as well get the power in here like that. So this is left and right audio out, so just got to remember that it is that one there and that one there. So that's the audio out. So now I've got to get the DAC input, so that's that one there and that one there. So let's now get this pushed back in. Well, I'll push it back in properly in a minute. So let me get this all tidied up. I'm going to pause this video here, and then I'm going to resume when it's all put into place properly. Okay, now that the setup looks a little bit cleaner, I can now say, well, I can't say anything about how it sounds yet because I just need to properly test it. So to do that, obviously for the speaker test, I've got a pair of Q Acoustic 2010Is hooked up through the Amptastic Mini 1 stereo amplifier in power amp mode. I did notice there's a little bit of audio crackle, but that could be the cables. I don't know. I'll find out because I am going to replace the cables at some point, and even the speakers at some point as well. In terms of headphones though, this is what I'll be using to test it. First up, we have the Sennheiser HD 598s, widely regarded as one of the most popular pair of open back headphones, and especially a good pair of headphones to get you started in hi-fi use. Also, I'm just going to grab the rest of them from the back here, along with the abundance of cables that are there. Jesus Christ, there's so much. Oh, yeah, that's better. Has that just dropped? I think my webcam's just dropped. Anyway, I'll keep going. I also have a pair of Audio-Technica ATH-M50Xs, widely regarded as one of the most popular pair of closed back headphones. Even though technically these are monitoring headphones in a way, lots of people highly regard these as like really clear audio and all that good stuff. Even though I still don't get the hype for them personally, but I can see why people do go for them. I'm also going to be using, I've got another 2 more pairs here. Just going to move my mouse out of the way for this one. I'm also going to be using the Headphone HE400Is because these are planar magnetic headphones. They use planar magnetic drivers in them. And because of that, they are difficult to drive. So the gain switch on the front of the Atom should benefit them in a great way. And then lastly, I'll be using the Fostex TH610s because, I mean, just look at them. These are my babies. These are my absolute babies in terms of these headphones. So I've got a good test to go through. This is going to take a while, but I think it'll be worth it. So, all right, that'll be that for now. And I'll probably do a review of all of this at some point. And cool.